Holy Week begins right here in the Basilica of the Holy Sepulchre. Words and songs recall the triumphant entry of Jesus into Jerusalem. It is Palm Sunday. Thousands of pilgrims from all over the world joined the Palestinian Christian community in the evocative Palm Sunday procession to retrace, step by step, the triumphant entry of Jesus into Jerusalem. Faithful and religious celebrate the beginning of the Easter Triduum. This Thursday's celebration in the Basilica of the Holy Sepulchre takes place according to a proper and particular liturgical rite. At the cenacle, today, as more than 2,000 years ago, the washing of the feet of 12 little disciples of the Latin parish of Jerusalem has been repeated. Also this year, in the name of communion and solidarity with the Church of Jerusalem, the appeal for the collection for the Holy Land was launched. Blessed are those who, though they have not seen, will believe. It is the Easter message of Brother Francesco Patton, Custos of the Holy Land. Holy Week begins right here in the Basilica of the Holy Sepulchre. Words and songs recall the triumphant entry of Jesus into Jerusalem. It is Palm Sunday. The blessing of the palms will begin the solemn celebration as a prelude to the Lord's Passover. An ancient rite in which the clergy and the faithful turn 3 times around the edicule of the Anastasis and then pass in front of the Calvary to demonstrate the unity of death and resurrection. All participants carry a newly blessed palm in their hands inside the edicule and shake it, as the inhabitants of the Holy City did when Jesus passed by. A solemn celebration presided over by the Apostolic Administrator of the Latin Patriarchate, His Excellency Monsignor Pierbattista Pizzaballa, together with many priests, local faithful and pilgrims. The long narration of the Passion according to Luke, sung in Latin, describes the last moments of Jesus' life, from betrayal to prayer at the Gethsemane, up to crucifixion and death. A unique emotion for those in Jerusalem.
I came here for the second time just to attend this Palm Sunday. For me, it was a wonderful thing, unique and rare, and I will naturally bring home a wealth of emotion and excitement.
Yeah, we are so excited and we are so touching with this very big palm leaves, and we will join the palm procession this afternoon.
I'm wearing the traditional dress to show the world that the Palestinians still exist, especially the Christian one. I can't really describe the feeling. It's really, really very peaceful. It's really nice. I love it, and I hope everybody in the world to come and visit.
In this Sunday, the mystery of his death and resurrection is our salvation. Remembering this salvific entrance, we follow Jesus through the streets of the city in jubilation of Hosanna. Ancient costumes and traditional songs are mixed with a babel of languages and musical instruments on Palm Sunday in Beitfage. The procession begins from the sanctuary on the eastern side of the Mount of Olives and follows step by step the triumphant entry of Jesus into Jerusalem. We come from Poland. The flowers on the olive branches remind us of those which were thrown at the feet of Jesus as he passed by. It means remembering that he is alive among us today.
I love it here. It's amazing. It's just so cool to see how many people just believe in God, and the King is alive. It's amazing. It's so beautiful.
The long, joyful line of people proceeds through the steep streets of the Holy City for what is the most important public celebration of the local Christian community. More than 40 Palestinian pilgrims' coaches have arrived from the West Bank, and a special entry permit is granted for Easter week. We're from Abod, near Ramallah. It's important for us to be here because this is our land. Alongside the Palestinian community, there is the much smaller number of Hebrew-speaking Christians, mainly immigrants. These are part of the 60,000. They're Filipinos, Indian, Sinhalese. The door of the lions welcomes the pilgrims in the old town. Dances and songs in the courtyard of the Church of St. Anne mark the weight of the religious authorities, from the Custos of the Holy Land to the Apostolic Administrator of the Latin Patriarchate. It is a way of meeting as a joyful community that puts aside all its difficulties and expresses its joy and pride in being Christians in the Holy Land. Pizzaballa's blessing concludes the joyful celebration of Palm Sunday, a prelude to Jesus' painful way to Calvary. The Easter Triduum began with an entrance song. The sound of the organ seemed to announce the next events. Priests of various nationalities and bishops joined together to con-celebrate with the Apostolic Administrator of the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem, Bishop Pierbattista Pizzaballa. Faithful and pilgrims from all over the world took part in this unique liturgy. The celebration of this Holy Thursday here in the Basilica of the Holy Sepulchre has its peculiarities, which make it different from those of other places in the world. During the morning, because of the status quo, we already do everything. The Mass of the Chrism, the Mass of the blessing of the holy oils, and also the Mass of the washing of the feet in a great and long celebration. To be able to celebrate this moment by merging the four important celebrations of the day into one is an incredible moment of faith in which we can truly feel the presence of God. The Song of the Glory was sung, and then there was the silence because of the approaching passion of Christ. The Gospel according to St. John is solemnly proclaimed, which shows the passage in which Jesus washes the feet of his disciples. Pierbattista Pizzaballa in his homily highlighted this gesture of Christ. If I do not wash, you will not be truly united with me. To be with Christ, to find true life, comes through the grace and challenge of fraternity and friendship. In the last night of his life, the Lord Jesus not only gives us a good example, but also reveals to us the logic of true life. To live is to open oneself up, to give yourself to one another, said the Apostolic Administrator of the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem.
The Holy Thursday, the meaning of Holy Thursday is enormous. We celebrate the priesthood, the Eucharist, the washing on the feet, the commandment of love. So it is all the heart of the Christian faith is here in this place and this day.
Dressed in white, the approximately 240 priests renewed their priestly promises, and in the same celebration there was also the blessing of the holy oil and the chrism. Later on, the highest point of our faith was the participation in the Lord's Supper. The Blessed Sacrament shows that the shrine is empty, while the tomb was not empty for a certain time. The song during the procession reveals the depth of this moment, and the song that started the celebration now gives space to the silence of the beginning of this Easter Triduum. The gesture of the washing of the feet instituted by Jesus has been repeated even today, as more than 2,000 years ago in the same place, the cenacle. In a silent procession, the friars of the custody of the Holy Land came to the place that commemorates the Last Supper of Jesus. Here, together with the many local Christians and pilgrims, they retraced the steps narrated in the Gospel of Holy Thursday.
El Jueves Santo para nosotros se traduce precisamente en el cenáculo. Cenáculo significa Eucaristía, significa lavatorio de pies y significa mandamiento nuevo del amor fraterno. El cenáculo se convierte en el lugar símbolo del hecho de que Jesús se da a sí mismo por amor a nosotros y continúa haciéndose siervo y nos enseña el valor del servicio.
Arriva a farsi servo e ci insegna il valore del servizio.
Jesus got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. Then he began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with the towel he had around them. Today, the Custos of the Holy Land wash the feet of 12 young confirmants of the Latin parish of Jerusalem. In the memory of the great mysteries which have been carried out in this holy place, the ceremony ended with a recitation in unison of the prayer of the Our Father, each person in his or her own language. Also this year, in the name of communion and solidarity with the Church of Jerusalem, an appeal was launched for the collection for the Holy Land, which comes from the will of the popes to maintain a strong bond between the Christians of the world and the holy places. In the letter sent to all the bishops of the world, the prefect of the Congregation for the Eastern Churches, Cardinal Leonardo Sandri, urges us to think with greater intensity of the brothers and sisters who live and bear witness to the faith in the dead and risen Christ in the Holy Land, also expressing to them solidarity with charity. Starting from the example of St. Paul VI, the first pilgrim pope in the Holy Land, Cardinal Sandri wanted to underline how even today we witness with hope a certain resumption of pilgrimages, touching with our own hands the joy of faith of so many faithful who come to the Holy Land.
Il pellegrinaggio è una forma di partecipare al sostegno della Terra Santa.
Pilgrimage is a form of support of the Holy Land. The other way is not only to think, pray and adapt to the gospel, but to contribute concretely with our offer to the support of the Church in the holy places. And this is the call that the Church makes every year. This year, in the letter we say, we accompany Jesus on his ascent to Jerusalem for his death and his resurrection.
Noi diciamo che accompagniamo Gesù nella sua salita a Gerusalemme per la sua morte e la sua risurrezione.
Quindi migliaia e migliaia di pellegrini ogni giorno arrivano nei santuari per fare un pellegrinaggio ben accompagnato.
Thousands and thousands of pilgrims every day arrive in the sanctuaries. A well-made pilgrimage is something extraordinary for the pilgrim's experience of faith, because the pilgrim does not come to these places to see something attractive from a tourist point of view. He comes to these places to renew his faith, to read the pages of the Gospel in the places of revelation and incarnation and redemption, and to live a meaningful personal encounter with Jesus Christ. For many people, the pilgrimage to the Holy Land is truly a turning point in Christian life.
E per tanti il pellegrinaggio in Terra Santa è veramente una svolta nella vita cristiana.
The collection is taken as usual on Good Friday, and it is the main source of income for the sanctuaries of Redemption and Living Stones. It is the vocation and mission of those who keep the Church alive in the places where the Church was born.
Dove la Chiesa è nata. Siamo nel cenacolo, sul Monte Sion, nel luogo dove Gesù aveva consumato l'ultima cena con i suoi discepoli, lasciando loro il dono dell'Eucarestia e del sacerdozio, ma anche il comandamento dell'amore fraterno e l'esempio del servizio attraverso la lavanda dei piedi. È in questo luogo che Gesù appare agli Apostoli la sera del giorno di Pasqua. Le porte chiuse non impediscono al risorto di entrare e Gesù si manifesta con parole, gesti e segni che sono importanti per quel piccolo gruppo di apostoli impauriti e ancora sotto shock per la sua morte, ma sono importanti anche per noi, a distanza di quasi 2000 anni. Le parole e i gesti sono uniti tra loro e contengono un dono e una missione di pace e di riconciliazione. Pace a voi. Come il Padre ha mandato me, anch'io mando voi. Dopo aver detto questo, alitò su di loro e disse: ricevete lo Spirito Santo, a chi rimetterete i peccati saranno rimessi e a chi non li rimetterete resteranno non rimessi. Gesù dona la pace, Gesù dona lo Spirito Santo, Gesù affida una missione che è soprattutto missione di riconciliazione, di perdono e di pace, per farci rinascere come umanità nuova e riconciliata, ricreata dal dono dello Spirito. Gesù offre anche un segno che offrirà di nuovo 8 giorni dopo per aiutare il cammino di fede di Tommaso. E questo segno è la ferita dei chiodi nelle mani e nei piedi e la piaga della lancia nel costato. Gesù è risorto, ha vinto la morte, ma nel suo corpo di risorto porta ancora i segni dei chiodi e della lancia, porta cioè e continuerà a portare per tutta l'eternità i segni, le ferite e le piaghe che manifestano fin dove è arrivato il suo amore per noi, fino al dono di sé pieno e totale, fino a morire per noi. Questi segni, queste ferite, queste piaghe ci ricordano che la risurrezione non cancella la croce dalla storia personale di Gesù, da quella della Chiesa e dalla vita di ognuno di noi, ma la trasfigura e ce la fa leggere in una luce nuova, quella appunto della Pasqua. Da questo luogo così speciale desidero far giungere a ciascuna e a ciascuno di voi gli auguri di una Pasqua gioiosa da parte dei frati della custodia di Terra Santa. Che da questo luogo, che è il luogo delle apparizioni del risorto, la sera della prima Pasqua cristiana e 8 giorni dopo, Gesù continui a effondere lo Spirito Santo su di noi, discepoli, fragili, spesso impauriti e di poca fede. Che da questo luogo la missione di pace, di perdono e di riconciliazione affidata da Gesù risorto agli Apostoli, cioè alla Chiesa, riprenda vigore e si diffonda. Che il risorto doni a ciascuno di noi la grazia e il coraggio di essere uomini e donne di pace e di riconciliazione qui in Terra Santa, ma anche in tutti i luoghi e le situazioni dove il peccato porta violenza e conflitto, incomprensione e divisione. Che possiamo fare esperienza in modo personale di quella beatitudine, cioè di quella gioia piena e interiore, che Gesù risorto qui ha proclamato in risposta alla faticosa professione di fede di Tommaso. Perché mi hai veduto, hai creduto. Beati quelli che pur non avendo visto crederanno. Buona Pasqua a ciascuna e a ciascuno di voi e alle vostre famiglie.